So, peace, everyone. This is what let's call this debt discharge. We're gonna be talking about securities, also retitling of assets with the trust. So, when we talk about, I made an outline so that we can just follow it. So, I'm gonna share a screenshot of the outline. But for the most part, we have to touch on the Uniform Commercial Code, the Security Exchange Commission, trust indentures, the STAP Act, so that you can have a full understanding of how all these things work together, so that you can learn how to discharge debt and how to what they call coupon properly. And I know some of y'all, it's funny seeing some of y'all here because I know some of y'all done got information from other places, and I know that everybody don't know these steps, but a few people do. But everything is in black and white, and if you just look, you'll be able to find it. So I'm gonna show y'all what I've been fortunate to come across and what's been able to work for me. And I'm also gonna show you remedy from somebody else. And that's we actually gonna start off with the remedy, and then we're gonna build from there. Make sense?
Already.
So let me share screen on this. So this is a coupon that somebody tendered. It worked for them. No issues, right? So we're gonna break down the different parts. So first off, they don't detach the bottom portion of the bill. It stays attached, right? This is a stamp right here. When we go over to, I'm going to show y'all, it is 31 CFR. I'm going to show y'all the parameters for what you need for this stamp, right? You don't have to buy a stamp and get this made. You can actually do this on your computer if you know how to do it properly. But it's a two-step thing because it needs to look separate from this. So you need to actually, if you don't have this, because I know a lot of people have, a lot of y'all go paperless, so you only get the digital ones. So if you don't have this, all you have to do is print off your full bill off the computer, and then you will actually print the snap-on. And it says for the presentation to the United States Treasury for redemption or in exchange for securities of a new issue in accordance with written instruction submitted by, and then you have the line, and they wrote in the financial institution. So we clearly see this is for Marriott, the hotel, right? So what would be the purpose of them writing Chase Bank? And this is where a lot of people go wrong because you don't understand the triangle. So every financial institution, there is a triangle. I tell them this is the one of the ones that I've had to deal with. Amazon credit card, they use Chase as an intermediary. They also use Amex, depending on where you are. So different regions for different states. So you have to figure out what it is for you. So I have a credit card with Amazon. Instead of me paying Amazon, I can pay Chase directly, or I can send the instrument to Chase directly in order to settle the debt, and then they send the money back to Amazon because it's already been handled. So instead of me paying with cash, because per the contractual agreement that they already have is already been settled, these are just interest payments, and people don't understand that. So continue to examine this document right here. When we get to the part where you see the broken line that you can separate, they wrote money order at the top, and it says pay to the order of, and then it says Chamber Service Bank. So this is the trust indentured party right here. Then it says Chase Bank, and then it says account number. They wrote Chase Bank right next to the account number, right? And then it says $6,500. This was settled in full. We also gonna go over these one, two, three UCC codes, and 18 USC is 4. We know what 1-308 is, but we're gonna go over these UCC Title 3 codes as well. And this is their personal information. I blacked it out. But also right here, they have a beneficiary signature. And in the bottom right, they have a 10-cent stamp that you can't see as well. So far, any questions about that before I go into the how you do the endorsement?
Does it always have to be a 10-cent stamp?
Hold on, let me move this so I can see the camera. Okay, no, it does not always have to be a 10-cent stamp. The regulations for the stamps, it comes through the Stamp Act. So that's why I said Security Exchange Commission, which is the SEC. There is also the stamp app. That way you know the amount that's supposed to be on there depending on what's being tendered at the time. And then what's the other one? Trust indenture. And also the Securities Act. Those four things are kind of what you gotta study. Man, that'd be crazy. Hold on a second. Okay, so first thing first. That's the only question about that instrument, right? Before I continue.
Right.
Okay, cool. Next. Presentation share screen. We going right here. Requirements for endorsement. What is that? So right here, 31 CFR 328.6 requirement for endorsement. On bearer securities, endorsement must be imprinted on the left-hand portion on the face of each security. Didn't we just see that on the left side of on the document, right? On the face of each security, with the first line there of parallel to the left edge of the security in much manner as to be as clearly legible in such a position that it should not obscure the serial number, series designation, or other identifying data, and covers the smallest possible portion of the text in the face of the security. So, and then they give you the exact diameters of what it should be. Endorsement should approximately be 4 inches in width and 1.5 inches in height. So if you've seen that stamp there, that is exactly what it was. So this matters because if you go outside of this, it will not be classified as security. And then if it's not a security, the trust indenture company will not accept it. So also that will be considered defacing the instrument. And then when they go send it over to the company, well, the portion of the company that is supposed to be in order to be verified, it won't be verified because it'll be seen to be frivolous, or they may think that somebody's committing some type of fraud. Now, right here, we talk about coupons, unmature coupons attached to restrictively endorsed securities should be canceled by imprinting on the prescribed endorsement in such a manner that the substantial portion of the endorsement will appear on each such coupon. If any such coupons are missing, deduction of their face value amount will be made in case of the redemption. And in this case of exchange remittance equal to the face amount of the missing coupon must be accompanied by the securities. All mature coupons, including coupons which will mature on or before the date of redemption or exchange, except as otherwise specifically provided in an announcement of exchange offering, should be detached from securities upon which restrictive endorsements are imprinted. Main reason why you leave it attached, right? This is their laws, not making this up for you. So, do we know what a security is? Does everybody know this? Let's look up what a security is. Registration of underlying security assets backed by security transactions, control over securities. I just need the legal definition. Hold on one second, y'all. Okay, so share the status state. Cornell. My bad. This one. So right here, security law refers to the body of regulations that govern the issuance of trading and enforcement of financial instruments representing ownership or a creditor relationship with an entity. So that's all it takes. These laws are designed to protect investors, maintain fair and efficient markets, and facilitate capital formation. So if it shows a creditor relationship with an entity, which is usually you on your social security number, that is considered to be a security. You're just not utilizing it. Most people don't even touch that thing. Like, shit, last person I seen that in was my grandma. Like, most of us just use a debit card. So let me show you something right here. So right here, let me actually show you what I searched first before I went to it. Share this tab instead. So Chase Trust Indenture. When I type in Chase Trust Indenture, this is what comes up first. The Security Exchange Commission.gov. And this is a 10K form. So there are 10Ks, and then there are what? It's a 10K and it's an 8K. 10K and an 8K. Right here, United States Security and Exchange Commission Form 10K. This is an annual report pursuant to Section 13 or 15D of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. This is why you must read the Security Exchange Act of 1934 so you can understand what's happening right here, right? Right here, throughout their indenture, it says Chase. Oh, that's from IG. I thought that was from school. So this is the commission filing number right here. Chase Shua's Trust, exact name of entity right here. Commission file number, Chase Card Funding LLC, JP Morgan Chase Bank. So if you are actually sending over securities, you are supposed to be sending it over to the one that is issued in the trust indenture. So if you're not communicating with this entity
Are you
that is
still?
listed,
I'm sorry, DJ Bay. Are you supposed to be sharing? Are you
you can't
supposed to
see
be?
this. My
No.
bad.
Yeah,
My
we
bad.
still on the Google.
All
You
right,
can
here
see
we
it, right?
go. Now we got
Yeah.
action.
So right here, United States Exchange, Security and Exchange Commission right here. This is a Form 10K. So right here it says annual report pursuant to Section 13 or 15D of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. This is why I said you need to be sure to read the Security Exchange Act. So right here, commission file number, and this is of the issuing entity, right? It is Chase Issuance Trust. So exact name of entity. So if there is any security dealings, they need to go to here, not to JP Morgan, not to Chase Card Funding LLC. This is the entity that handles the securities. So even when you are sending your coupons in and you're having a problem and they're not accepting it, most of the time it's because you didn't endorse it right, your snap is wrong, and you're more than likely mailing it to the wrong entity. And I also recommend a cover letter. The cover letter doesn't have to be long. It could literally just be 2-3 sentences saying that I am sending you over this security in order to tender over the funds for this particular account number. Boom. And you can also utilize them same UCC codes and also the one from, what is that, CFR 31. So we scroll down right here. Let me make this larger for y'all. Indicate by check mark if the registrant is well known, sees an issue or defined under Rule 405 of the Securities Act. No. And they also, I'm going to show y'all some of the most recent filings from this year, just so you can update this often. So whenever you are sending in your information, but also there are some people, they sent in their cover letter and they said that they're going to send over this information like this continuously. So they give you a direct contact. So when you have the direct contact, any of the information change, they'll let you know whenever you reach out. I'm looking for the head of the trust indenture. I'm looking for their contact information. This is the description. This is their articles, exhibit numbers. So right there, issuing entity is the trust. So Chase Card Funding Depositor, Simon. Simon will be the responsible party because Simon will be the contact in order for you to deal with the trust that they don't have any other listed entities. So outside of that, let me show y'all the most recent ones from the 10K list. I know this is a lot. And then we can run through some of y'all's.
No, it's kind of a refresh. I ain't been on that scene a minute. Do you offhand know who American Express indentured trustee is?
No, we can just
Okay.
Google it and look it up. And so we can look up that 10K. So right here, Warner Music Group, they just did one literally 3 days ago.
Oh, that's decent.
So in Warner Music Group, we click on their stuff. Here go they 10K right here. And here go they 8K. Go back, bro. All right, right. So you see, I just got to their 10K just like that. Warner Music Group. NASDAQ, we got the trading symbol. So out of their 10K annual report, table of contents, business risk, unsolved legal parameters, market. We're looking for parties, directors, executive officers. So in part 3, item 10, or we can just go down to item 16. So part 3, item 10. Let's just go to the summary. I don't know if I'll scroll through this. So right here, you have all the information, power of attorney. They listed everybody who's a part of the entity that you would have to possibly reach out to. They have the chief financial officer, who is Brian, what's that, Castellini? And vice chairman, all the directors, you wouldn't even have to reach out to none of them. So, and when you send it over to the proper entity for the trust indenture, they send it within their own entity to the proper people so that the document can be vetted, so that it can be processed through. And you can reach out to them in order to verify that they received that document. So this is one of the main reasons why when y'all have tried this in the past, it did not work. I promise you, because you are not sending it to the right person. Even if you sent it to Chase, you sent it to the wrong Chase branch. So you want to see American Express? Where we at? Let me just do it off of here. Do it the same way. Um, 10K. I don't know what the American Express name is underneath the. There we go. All right, you see it?
Yeah, you know they hiding behind something.
No, I had to. It didn't come straight up. I had to look a little bit more.
Okay, AMX.
So I'm just gonna go down to the summary now. But I'm just skipping through it. This is for sure something because within everybody trust indenture, they're going to list who's the responsible party that is over the security dealings. So I'm just showing you how to go to the names of the people so that you know who you're dealing with. Like literally right here, the signatures of the different parties. So that's usually at the bottom of the document throughout the summary. But within the indenture itself, it breaks down who the exact responsible party is. But you can reach out to this entity. You can pull their phone number online and you can call them and you can tell them, I have a security and I'm sending it to your trust indenture. I'm making sure that this is the right mailing address and the right location. Am I meeting the requirements? It's no problem calling these people to ask. This is their job. So, what else do I need to go through real quick?
Can you say
So,
that again? You said you tell them you have a security and you want to make sure it gets to the right indenture
yeah,
trust.
but you don't call Chase and say that. You have to pull the indenture information. You have to pull the 1099K.
Right.
I said 1099K, excuse me,
I
the
know
10K.
10K. I know what you meant.
Yeah, because I'm looking at this document right here. Okay, so run through these steps. And, Microsoft. All right, this is the outline for pretty much the things that you need to know in order to make sure that you're not doing no goofy stuff when it comes to this, so you can have the exact information. Because I can give you the general steps, but it's going to vary depending on who you are. Like how the amount of the stamp that you have to put in your document, depending on you could have a 20,000, 50,000, $500,000 bill. The amount that you're supposed to tender for that instrument is supposed to be a higher cost stamp.
I'm sorry, this is blurred out. Can anybody else read it? I can't read none of that. It's blurry.
Can
It
you
was
see it
clear.
now?
It was clear to me.
Can you see it? You on your phone or your computer?
It's better me too. But you said this is the
Let me go over here.
this is what we need
It's
to
still
know
blurry for y'all?
before we.
No, it wasn't blurry for us. Are you on your phone?
It's straight out now.
It's probably because it was small. It
No,
probably
I'm
was.
on my laptop.
Oh, okay.
It could be the Wi-Fi connection. Let me know if if y'all can't see something or if it's on a stable feed, so I can correct it so y'all can see the stuff.
Okay. Yeah, it was clear.
Okay. This the one. All right. So, Trust Indenture Act of 1939, the TIA. Overview of the act. So, enacted to protect investors and security offerings, mandates the use of qualified trustee for certain debt securities. So that's why you have to find the trustee. The trustee is responsible for handling all securities. Where does the security come from? They have given you a coupon, which we've seen falls underneath the security range in the United States laws, right? They give you the coupon. It's your job for you to tender it back to them. Are you utilizing the right language and you stamping it properly and also endorsing it and stamping it? It then becomes it can be a registered security that you can send over to them in order for them to settle the debt. That one that I showed you, it's way more people who are utilizing these steps in order to do it. So, the Trust Indenture Act. If you have a hard time figuring out, who the trustee is for the trust indenture, if you read the Trust Indenture Act, it will help you to be able to target who those people are. Because if you can't identify the individual, that more than likely means you have a hard time understanding the language because they clearly identifies it. You just have to take your time to read through the SEC.gov. So if you go on SEC.gov and you type in 10K for whatever company name that you're looking for, or if you type in trust indenture for whatever company you're looking for on Google, you'll be able to find who is the responsible party for handling their securities. You can't, like I said, Chase Bank, JP Morgan, they don't handle securities there. A whole nother entity does. And this is what we're dealing with, right? The key provisions relevant to discharge requirements of formal indenture agreement when issuing securities. That's usually the cover letter. You're just telling them that this is a security that I'm sending over for it to be tendered for this account, right? Now, I do recommend all of you start to retitle your accounts. I don't recommend that these things stay in your own personal name. You should have a trust just to protect you, just in case you don't want any debt or anything to happen personally. You may not do the taxes, the bookkeeping on it when it comes to the 1099s. So you want the trust to hold that liability instead of you personally. Not saying that bad things happen to people from doing this process. You just want to make sure your bookkeeping is proper, right? Application contract free securities management. That's not for y'all. Case study, indirect engagement through trust structures. So creating securities under private trust entity for settlement of outstanding debts. That's literally what I just told you. So if you have, I recommend you all start this process with a small bill versus something that you really need. I don't recommend you do it with your phone. Hell, don't do it with your phone, don't do it with your lights, don't do it with your water, don't do it with your car, don't do it with your house. Not until you've seen that you have an understanding of how it works. So whatever small bill, maybe some subscription or something, you can ask them for a paper statement. Anything else that you get paper mail for outside of something that is a necessity in your life, I recommend you try it with that way. And also attempt to retitle the account with the trust. All you have to do is send them over the trust indenture and you list. I'll go through that in a second because that's in one of the further steps. Damn, who eating on the mic? Tools, you good? I'm just messing with you. Tools and documentation. Key documents that require under TIA to validate security transactions. Key documents is making sure that you have the document stamped properly, you have it signed properly, and you don't deface the document by writing over whatever other information is there. How to identify qualified trustees and ensure compliance. Securities and debt instruments. We went over what securities was. So right here, please take note. This is another thing that I need you all to read. I will, if you all would like, if you can't find the documents, I will drop them in the community for you. Next one is Securities Act of 1933 and the Security Exchange Act of 1934. Two completely different things. You have to read both. Types of security used to discharge debt. We went over that. So once again, we also went over this. I already had most of this information in my head before I showed you all. So Form 10K, Form 8K. Purpose of significance in financial reporting and using these forms to understand creditor financial position. The 8K shows where they are allocating their money out towards. So 10K shows who are all the responsible party. It's pretty much like a bylaw of how you're operating in finance. And that's what they provide to the Security Exchange Commission. They have to keep on providing this. They have to make sure it's updated. So there's no way for them to hide this. You just never knew where to look. Stamp Act. That's the third one. When is the Stamp Act from? It's more than one. Let me make sure I'm telling y'all the right one. Is it the 1765 one? Yeah, the Stamp Act of 1765. In the Stamp Act of 1765, it will, let me open it for you so you can see, because it literally lists out the payments. Stamp Act PDF. Stamp duties. So it's 2. This is United States stamp duties. I'm making sure this is the right one before I show y'all. All right, that's one. And this is the other one. I recommend y'all read both. Let me open up. I gotta change screen. Hold on a second. Okay, let me drop this in the chat for you. This one right here. This is the Stamp Act of 1765. Show y'all what it looks like. I'm about to zoom in. I know y'all can't see that. In here, it literally breaks down what the price of everything is, and it literally says within this documentation back at this time, if something did not have a stamp on it, it was not considered a legally binding document. For every skin on which shall be grossed letters of marque or commission for private ships of war within said colonies of plantations, a stamp duty of 12 shillings. That was the equivalent. Them was like silver coins back then. So it literally, this is nothing more of a financial breakdown of what everything is.